are you? You can see me well?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Shri.
Amazing, amazing. How is your last weekend of the year? Hey, hey, celebration. Fun happening or the same drowsy office mode? Okay, I'm here. Okay, first, thanks all for joining here. And I believe it's a great weekend and one more day. For what? One more day for what?
Year to end.
Yeah, new year to start, rather put in that way.
Yeah.
So a new year to start, right? Okay, great. Thanks all for being here. And this is going to be a session to talk about how to target for the PMP for 2024. I have a bunch of people who have certified also is here. I have people who are planning to go for exam is also here. I may have some people who watch this video later point to understand what I should do, right? So I have few points to talk about what to do. I'll bring some slides. I'll talk about it. Before that, I'm pretty excited that a new year is coming up. Of course, our age is also going high. At the same time, our maturity level is also going high. At the same time, you are also learning something new. Yeah, that's what happening. How many of you here already set for some festival, some celebration for New Year? Is there any party planned here? Uh-huh.
No,
Gayatri. So
Shri.
what's the party there? Oop, oop. Okay. Okay, so there are some good things happening around the place, at least where I'm living. At present, I'm in Europe. So I could see a lot of lights here, more of a crackers, and people are celebrating. I know how it works in India. People go to spiritual places in the evening hours. Morning, parents go to the real spiritual places. That's a different category. So two spiritual things happens that depending on your age, depending on where you are. Once again, welcome you all to this program. So what I do is I'll share some slides and talk about what and how we have to work out towards this PMP certification. Because this is one of the certificate highly reputed and needed in the market of project management. When you look out for a new job, when you look out for promotion or a self-satisfaction, I'm doing something good. On both these cases or all these cases, we need a certification. So without time delay, let's get there. Good to see people in the cam. I think at least two, three people are on the cam. Hello, hello, hello. Is there anyone else on the cam? Jatin is here. Okay. Ananya is here. Nice.
Hi.
Keela is here. Fantastic. I know some of you guys are already preparing for the PMP on this weekend. Are you doing that?
Yes, Shri.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Was it a time used very effectively?
not
Yep.
much.
We were in the
Tried,
for
but
that.
not that effective.
Not effective. What is effective as per you? If you call it as effective, what does it mean?
If we read something, so
Ah,
after some time, if we able to recollect that, I feel it as
ah,
effective.
that's
But we
beautiful,
just
right?
we just going
That's
on reading and nothing is going into the mind. So
okay, okay, nice. When you listen to a song, a good movie song, first time, will you able to sing the song again within 5, 10 minutes or within a day?
no.
Okay. When you can sing a song back again?
After
After
repetition,
repeated
after
Okay,
repeated
repetition,
hearing,
I'm playing a song 10 times. Still, 11th time, will you sing the song?
yes,
not
done.
If
completely.
you really like it, you can sing it. Yeah.
You know one thing about the human brain? Even you listen 10 times a song, 11th time, when you watch a song picturization, your brain starts capturing it. And now when you drive the car, the song runs, the wording runs in your brain, automatically the image starts running. And both the image and the wordings connect, you can start singing the song. It's a usual pattern of human brain. Do you all remember some songs from your school and college days which you heard? When you hear that tune, you can recall that picture, right? Something. Why I'm putting this dialogue here? The point here is how many ever time you read, it is so hard to recall until you picturize the concepts, until you visualize these concepts in your life or in your corporate. It is going to be only a mug up. It's going to be so tough. There are exceptional people. Without seeing pictures, without getting anything, they can recall the content. There are some people. I'm not sure we have everyone that ability. Very less people who have that ability. So message here is, when you prepare, start visualizing those content, even though you don't work on that environment. Imagine a person, X person working in a Y company. This is what happening. That's a way it's remembering. Anyway, I'll go to the context very deeper later on. But before that, thanks, Mahesh, for bringing that story. I appreciate it. All right, good. So then what I do is I'll bring up some content to Converse. We will do some discussion. Okay. I believe this week is less work for some of us in your corporate.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
year end, right? Year end. Wow, we love that. I know some country year end also doesn't matter. They keep working. They're hard workers are there. Okay, the good to see the year 2024. I remember when the COVID hit in other part of the world and all over the world, they said this will continue till 2024. Have anyone heard this dialogue? You remember that? We were saying by the time, oh my God, another 3-4 years. We're already here. We are already here. 4 years are gone. Still, we are talking about a new variant is coming up, and people felt okay. Yeah, it's another sneezing. It's okay. People are so cool nowadays. Huh? If a COVID comes, okay, let them come. All right, so let's start with here. So thanks a lot for being here on the success path towards a PMP certification. This is for the year 2024. We are discussing on December 30. I thought it's a very good occasion to talk now because I have many aspirants who are planning for the upcoming quarter or upcoming year. Why I use the word upcoming quarter is because the beginning of the year, every corporate look for some people who have to be trained in some concepts, or you should have some certifications with you, which will help you to boost your career, or at least the job what you do, they look out on this. So be very watchful on the first and the second quarter or first quarter very carefully to do some learning process. It's very important for you. This also helps you on a promotion parameter because usually they look in the Jan, Feb timeline, they look into that will impact on your salary changes. Is this true for some of you? They look in that beginning of the year? Yeah? Okay, great. So what I do is I'll start with the agenda of what we have today. What I have John, a woodcutter story. Oh, wow. Story is going to happen, right? After story, we'll go and see why a certification is needed, important. Is it for some learning? Is it for money? We will see those parameters. Then I have few points about do's and don'ts. I think this is a main area we have to focus on. What should be done towards the preparation, towards exam certification. And I will talk something on assumptions, constraints, and dependency, which is related to the project management. Then we'll do something on the breakout. We have a short breakout. And then I want to get into what I expect in PMP certification. That's what's expected there. And then finally, we'll talk about how can we win it. So that's the agenda we have. Hope you are aligned here. And we are going to spend at least 2 hours of time. And then we not have a longer duration as you sit for the classes of 4 hours. This is only 2 hours. So let's hit some motivation. Let's do some tips here. How many of you here for some energy and motivation? Yay!
Yes, right.
Motivation. Okay, I think motivation is much needed, isn't it? Okay, before the motivation, we'll talk something about PMI facts. Hope you're seeing the screen what I'm sharing. Everyone getting the screen what I'm sharing?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about the facts. You can see 2 things here. One is for the year 2022 December, which is 11 months or 12 months back, on November 30, 2023. What is a big difference? I'm sure your eyes is searching towards a certification called PMP. Did your eyes do that?
Yes.
Huh? You did that,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Right? When you're in college, is such a crowd, still your eyes will search for that boyfriend or girlfriend in the crowd. Where is this guy? Something like that, you search at PMP, isn't it? Okay, what is a big number change here between last year and this year? Do you even realize it?
Yes.
Uh-huh. So it
So,
was
Around
0.2.
250,000 plus.
Okay. Okay. So it's 1.2 million if I want to put it by million. Can I say like that? 1.29 or 29 million. Now it is 1.46 million. I believe this is the one of the largest, right, or the highest certified in this group of certifications. Some of you may not be aware what all PMI have. PMI have bunch of certificates. Even they have introduced some new certificates. Do you see that here? The gap here? They have introduced some new certificates also. That's also
Yes.
there. They constantly do this. PMIs constantly keep on adding. It's also an institute, right? They should also get some revenue. They should also make people happy. It's all end of day learning and business. Both are happening. But our goal is not that. Our goal is to understand what is happening. So totally it was in 217 countries and territories. Hope you know what is territories. Territories is not having a full control or like a government formed country. It's ruled by like Bermuda is taken control by UK territories. So we have 222 countries and territories. You should be aware that why I'm sharing this is a person getting PMP certified. You cannot tell when I go to another country, will they recognize me? Your university degree may not be recognized. Why? Yeah, you will tell I'm a master's in science, but they ask what you did in majors in science. You have to explain that. Then they tell which university, where you come from, because they don't know the standard of the university. But when you go with a flag called PMI with you, and in that some of the certificates like PMP or PGMP or an Agile, now you hold a flag which is a common in these many countries in which all top countries are included. All top are here. Now, no excuse for them to tell that, hey, I don't know you. They can highly recognize you by this certification. This is one of the primary reason people go for this certification. Is it the only reason? Answer is no. It's not the only reason. Top of that, the subject's worth, the worth of the subject. It's not because something is popular. Shri, Michael Jackson is popular all over the world. It doesn't mean that you know Michael Jackson's song, you can go anywhere in the world. No. It means that you should know the depth of the content and breadth of the content and how it can be used in the corporate life. So this is what we're going to see. So first thing, understand that the fact file is people are getting more certified. But now question to you, out of 200 countries, from 1.29 million, we have moved to what's the number? 1.46
4 6 million.
1.46.
46 million. So which is happened in the 365 days or 330 days. I'm just giving a date, 1 year of time. Okay, 330 because it's from December. I'm calculating 330 days. In 330 days, in 200 countries, from 1.29 million, we got to 1.46 million. Now, question to you, is it low or is it high?
High.
High.
Hi.
Low, I feel. 8 billion people out of 8 billion people only do that.
But everyone is not doing the.
Exactly. That's a right one. Not everyone, right? There could be children there. There could be elderly people, isn't it? There are many,
Yeah.
many people are there, right? There are no one interested in management. Even interested in management, I'm not interested in project PMP, kind of. But still, I'll again repeat the question. I'll take her point, very valuable point. 8 billion. She said 8 billion is a mass population. When I say 8 billion, when I say children, there are parents for these children who want to grow in their life. Is this true?
Yep.
There is a son for a father who need to be taken care, for which a son or a daughter has to grow. Is there, right? But
Yeah.
still, what is the number? What we got is, again, the repeating question, is it low, high, or moderate?
It's very high.
Very high.
High, it's because it's the trend is getting increased, so we can consider
Trend
that
is
as high.
good. Trend is good. But the answer would be is moderate to low where we are. Why? You know how many jobs are there in project management opening?
You had
25
mentioned
lakhs.
2 point some billion.
A million.
Yeah.
12 million. You're talking about 1.5 million people certified. How many people needed? 12 million
25.
people needed or newly qualified people needed on 25 million overall. The need expectation is super high, whereas the supply is high or low.
Low.
Supply is low, and every year millions of people getting retired. Is this true? People are getting retired from the
Yes.
management. Mostly in management, you have elderly people like me or some people here, and they start retiring. The age goes off, right? You have to go out of the system. Now, Shri, are you trying to market here? I don't want to market. PMI is a different institute. They don't give me money. I don't want to market them. But the point I'm telling here is there is a potential opportunity for the people getting certified. However, it is up to you how do you utilize it. See, once I get that beautiful certificate after paying $555, will I get amazing job? What is the answer? What is the answer?
No.
Nahin.
No.
No.
No, no.
No,
Man, this
no.
is brutal, man. You only said opportunity is there. You only said millions of job is there. You only said 200 countries I can go with a certificate. You gave all the best things, and finally you're telling no job. Man, this is so bad. Now let me put the question back to you. Why no job even though you got PMP?
It depends on the quality of
Skills.
the knowledge what you're getting out of this PMP. Some people might get certificate, but again, they might not be understanding the core concepts of what PMP is all about. That's what I personally feel, because
I like the point. I
yeah.
like the point. That's a good point.
Or
Let me-
another way, like you said,
Technical knowledge.
virtual
Uh-huh.
learning has not been implemented after we get the certified.
Okay. Not
Right
implement
skills.
It's about application.
application knowledge. Very good. Very good. Okay, I love this. I love this. I really like this. Now let's talk some people from India or US, from Europe. There are many people have a driver license. You know that?
Yes.
Yes.
There are many people driver license. Do you know people who hold all driver license are having a car? And you know that everyone drives well?
No. In
No.
India,
It's not.
Wow.
In India,
That's the point.
Every country, there are people here. Having driver license doesn't mean you will drive better. At the same time, every people who have a license who can have a car with them doesn't mean that. Now, what I'm trying to say here, Shriram, the point here is just having a certificate doesn't mean you get everything. You should develop other skills also. So you mean PMP alone will not help me? Come on, man, I put $500. No, it won't help you. It is only an enabler. It is one of the things to trigger you to talk about management leadership language. But the main point goes on your domain specific. Oh man, so it's not PMP will help me. No, you have to be good at your domain. See, what do you mean by domain? If you are a doctor, you should know how the medical thing works. If you are a carpenter, you should know how the carpenting thing works. You have to spend time there. Along with that, management will help you. If management only will help you, you will not have Sundar Pichai as a Google CEO. Is this true?
Yes.
If management only will help, Sundar Pichai will not sit there. If management only will help, Satya Nadal will not be there. If management only will be there, Indrani won't be there. So you need that skill set to be developed. You have to spend time. There are some people think that once a PMP certificate, all over, relax. Okay, I got it. I'll get a job. No, only your life starts after your certificate. After your certificate, shut all the doors, shut the television, shut the mobile, sit and read for 6 months, prove something in your industry, use the certificate, grow higher. That's pretty important. Your race has not stopped after the certificate. Your race actually starts after certificate to prove that how can I use my knowledge in this place. That's very important. But see, you said you're going to talk about PMP 2024. Look like you're talking something else. Let me hold on there. Let's hold the horse. Let's hold there. Okay, let's get back. Okay, job related things. I keep saying that many people, it's always opportunities there. It's up to us to learn the concepts on your domain plus management to get it. But coming back to the fact files, I like this fact files because the numbers are growing, which means PMP exam intensity level has come down. Rightly, somebody will say that many people are clearing the exam. The intensity level has come down. Really, it's really. Go and talk to people who cleared exam 3 years, 4 years, even 2 years back. They will tell you it was super tough exam. You have mathematics, you have change management, you talk about risk management, procurement, they go deep. They ask what will be input, what is an output, where is it will be there. It like a toughest exam it was. So you mean not tough now? It is, but it has gone down the level it was. So because of list of people are clearing, not only that reason, also nowadays the materials are highly well explained, available in the market, like Rita books or Agile practice guide, a lot of videos. So both combination working out well. but still you have to spend time and effort on this certification. This is what we're going to learn now. Great. Shall we do that for next few minutes? Are you with me for this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Great. Let's do this. So first thing, I'll start with a story. I said a Johnny story or a John story is here. Let's talk about this guy. John, a beautiful hood cutter, smart hood cutter. Okay. Let's talk about this guy, John. John is a good wood cutter, and this guy goes to the forest to keep cutting the wood, even though you don't like cutting woods. Yeah, it's needed for those days survival. He cuts like anything, and he gets some money. He was okay there, living a life. Sometime back, there is a person, Bill, joined the same wood cutting firm. And this guy starts cutting the wood. Within a year, Bill got promotion, growth, getting more money. Now, John gets, oh my God, what's happening, man? I'm in the company for years and years. I'm not getting any increment, any growth. Bill is getting. He went to the boss. Mr. Boss, what's happening here, man? I'm here for a long time. Now the boss says that, hey, you know what? We like you. You are here. But you know what thing? You are here with our firm for 5 years, but you are cutting the same level of wood for the last 5 years. We are a super result-oriented company. If you can show performance, we'll give you rise, hike. John got motivated. What John did? Yay! Took the axe, run to the forest, keep cutting, heavily, overtime, hit hard. At the end of the day, when he go back to get the package, he found he have cut the same level of wood. Shakes, man. Hours of hours work, same wood. He couldn't understand what's happening. Now, what John did, again went to the boss. Mr. Boss, I'm frustrated. I put all this effort, but I still cut the same level of wood. What's happening here? Now, the boss said, probably you have to talk to Bill. Maybe you will understand something which even I have not understood, how he is able to do that. Then both the boss and John went to the Bill. Bill was there. Hey, Bill, what's up, man? How are you doing this? Bill says, okay, let me say something. Now, what I do is every time when I cut the wood, a tree, I take 2-3 minutes break. You know what I do in the break? Can somebody tell me what, John?
Sharpen the axe.
Sharpen the axe. That 2 minutes he spent to sharp his axe. Have you guys seen this sharpen the axe? The spark will come. Huh? Have you seen that? That spark is life. Now, Bill asked something with John. You know what he asked? He asked this point. When was the last time you sharpened your axe? John heard this first time in his life. Until then, he never thought about it. He thought sitting and working hard, blood, sweat, it'll happen. He didn't think that. He didn't think about it. When Bill asked, you know what happened? This question hit him like a bullet on his head. Shakes, man. I never ever thought about it. I thought I'm good. You know how many people in society like this? I thought I'm good. I thought I'm healthy. It's not only for education, even for your body. I thought I'm good until you get to hospital. You don't know what is happening inside you. Now, what happened? The main point here is the last point is important. Can you read the last line here? Which says, your past glory and education, don't do it. Then what do you have to do? You have to sharpen your axe. Shri, is this for certification you're talking? No. It's for a whole life. Sharpening your human thought process, sharpening your education on technology or your domain, sharpening our health consciousness, sharpening the knowledge on your addiction to something, maybe any addiction, it could be, maybe overeating is addiction, right? Watching a lot of mobile is addiction, could be, right? A lot of shopping could be addiction. You have to see what you have to work out. And I think John got that message. It's not continuous working will help. Give a pass, sharpen it. It's a pretty old story. Most of you heard about it. But I thought of sharing it at the end of the year, beginning of the next year, that let's use next 365 days to find out what can be sharpened. And if you can sharpen that, how it will help me, my family, and my society. It could start from you. Be selfish. It's okay. But when you do that, it's going to impact on your family, definitely. When it impacts the family, it impacts the society. Can we all be selfish on this process, at least on this? Shall we do this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Important, right? But don't search for the axe in your garage. I talked something about the knowledge. She said about the axe. Where is the axe? Okay. God, man. All right. Let's quickly touch something on the learning part. When I say this about the learning, I have to talk something more. When I say learning, people could assume that I have to get certificate. Shri, let me pump in $500, $1,000, right? Never do PMP. No, I don't do like that. I'm not a guy to market that, man, come and join, do PMP, spend your money. No, no, no. That's not the game here. Now read out the line, what they say here. The point here is a person will be successful with or without formal education. You know what? There are top achieving people, many don't have any formal education. Then how they do this, Shri? The point is they have this 5 C's with them. You mean 5 crores? No, not that one. Let's talk about some 5 C's. The 5 C's talks about the basic line is on the character what they have, along with how they behave with the human being. And the second point is a commitment towards the goal. Shri, why are you talking this in this class? The point here is, if you really want to get something in your life, even your PMP certification, you need that commitment. You need that character. Now, on top of that, you need something called a conviction, strong belief on yourself. Let the world say you are not capable. Let them say it's okay. You believe. Let others thought process may not be your own life. It's yours, right? You can believe. In college and school, somebody would have said that, man, you are not fit for it. It's okay. The same guy can see you after 10 years, you have that success in your life. They feel, wow, that conviction, you can build it up. And then finally, or furthermore, on the courtesy, wherever level you go, you should have that politeness. And then comes the last point on courage. This, I'm not saying this, it is from the top achievers books, which says that learning is not formal education. Why I want to put this here is some people have the misbelief, people coming from highest universities, people got a top scores can only achieve in the life. No, not at all. If we can have this 5 C's with us, you can be a great person. Now imagine if you have this 5 C's with this a formal education qualification, will you be a star? Is it possible? Is it possible to be a star?
Yes.
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 Possible, highly possible. Why I'm pointing that here is, if without formal education with the 5 C's somebody can be great, imagine you have the 5 C's, now you learn something, what happens? Let me put some points about the importance of certifications, okay? Now, before I say some points, I have some bullet points. Let me ask you this open question. What you think as a benefit of certifying yourself, not PMP, any certificate, getting any certificate at the age of 30s, 40s, and 50s, what is the importance? Any
It is
thoughts?
one way to other way sharpening method
To feel confident.
and make the confidence level high.
No,
Testimony of your
Standing
skills.
out of the crowd.
no, I think you're like no. I mean, up to date in the market. No,
Up
the
to
Yeah,
date in the
keep
technology.
market.
one,
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
keep
I mean
oneself.
the
You
knowledge wise.
you are specialized in certain aspect.
Nice. Good points. I like that points. Certainly. I like that point. Stand out or specialize level. And I heard one person said confidence. Did somebody said confidence?
Yes.
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 That's a first bullet point. You know what? When you're in school and college, there are people around you. Who is it around you? Teachers are there. Your friends are there. Your parents are there. Your siblings are there. Is this true? Until the age of 15, 16, 20, you have all these people,
Exactly.
right?
Yes.
Some or other person either motivate or demotivate, something they will do around you. Your scores are not good, idiotic fellow, one side. Other side, look at the cousin, that guy is reading well. Something will keep happening. But once you cross the age of 25, 30, 40, no one will come close to you on your career path. Is this true? Many of you, your parents don't even know what job you work. They don't
So
even
true.
know what is your money you're earning. They don't even know what is your mental trauma you're going through. They don't know anything. They know you're going to office and coming back. They only see your shirt colors. They only see the perfume smell. They get it. They don't know what is happening in office. Sometimes you're punched in the meeting room. They don't know. How you are worried about the job loss, they don't know. When the salary hike does not happen, the pain you have, they don't know. No one knows about it. No one asks about it. For that, first bullet point is improving the self-confidence. When you get certified, you get that energy. That energy you cannot explain by words. The day when you got certified, you feel that, yes, still my brain is active. Still I have that energy. I can do good job. So first improvement point here is improving your self-confidence. It's very, very important. I always say that when people go out for a job search, you can have a great resume with you. You can have amazing language with you. You could have put a great perfume or dress on you. But if you don't have a self-confidence with you, whatever you did, everything goes backseat. A person with a poor dressing can also win the job when they have a great self-confidence. The way you present, that's pretty important. That confidence comes by learning, not by only certificate, by learning. So I like the people who said about the confidence comes up there. Second point, strong vocabulary. You get certified in pharmaceutical. You get certified in automobile. You get certified in medicine. You get certified in PMP. You improve your vocabulary. What do you mean by vocabulary? You get the correct terminology to speak. The person who has a better knowledge to speak, present, observe, they are being highly appreciated in the market. So it's pretty important to get a strong vocabulary in project management. Career advancement. This gives a trigger for you what you have to do. Maybe you get certified, you wait for some time. Okay, can I be in the same job? I move forward. For me, what happened? When I want to prepare for the PMP, the first thing is I started looking for the job in the organization where I worked. I'll give this point to everyone here. The moment you get certified, don't jump out of the company. Don't do that mistake. Don't jump out of the company, because the company where you work, it's the place where you can test yourself properly. Find out the next role in your company, couple of roles above than in your company, and start applying for the job. What I did is, when I was preparing for my certificate, I was applying for jobs in the same company where I worked. I got a couple of interviews. They punched me on the nose, saying that you don't have a proper learning. You don't have this. You don't have this. They say more don't than what is good. It helped me. It helped me to learn while reading the books. While reading the books, go for interview. I recommend that. While you read the books before you're getting certified, go for interviews. Fail in the interview. It's okay. Those failures are learning. And when you get certified, still don't think they'll give a job. Still you will fail. But the point is to start learning better. So it can be good if you can clear your certificates, get the job in the same company, at least serve for 6 months or 1 year in the same company. Now look outside. You got a certificate, you learned how to apply the management in the platform where you worked. Now you apply outside, you have all the rights to do a great job. However, there are some exceptional cases. People want to get the certificate to get another new job. That's fine for you. But my approach is first try in your own company where you work. Then what? Healthy life. I see people who have better knowledge organize their time effectively. They don't spend time unwanted places. They work, close the day on time, go home, spend time for themselves, spend time with the family, less mobile, less television. They live a healthy life. This is educated mind, growth mind. Ungrowth mind, what will happen here is spend more time in office. They think that sitting 13 hours will give them promotion. Like a woodcutter, what we thought. Too much of television, too much of mobile, too much of unwanted things. They get into different patterns because your brain is not working on the critical thinking. In this class, in a few minutes, I'll talk about critical thinking. The point is you come up with a healthy life because you know your caliber, you know your capability, you use your skills properly. You are not a normal engine. You realize that you are a Ferrari engine. A Ferrari engine will not drive in the local streets. You know where to drive. You should know that. That ability you get when you learn some more concepts on your life. That's pretty important. And the last one is securing a better income. I put this point specifically last point because we should not think certification means income. No. When you have all these things, income starts coming automatically. The money starts flowing in. You mean money will come automatically? It won't come automatically. You have to think what you want. You should know what is your value. You should know how to sell yourself. Then the money starts coming. That's a very important point is always don't rely on one income. Seriously, don't rely on one income because your caliber is so high, you can go for 2-3 sources of income. How to do, Shri? We'll talk in a different class, not now, but think something on broader level. Don't go by the one income part. Okay, now I put some points here on certification, which can be helpful. This can directly apply to any certification, including project management. Now, question to people here. How many of you know that your domain also have a certificate? Automobile, finance, manufacturing. Are you aware of certificate in your domain?
Yes.
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 Which domain is that? Which domain is that?
So I'm
So
in
I
a pharmaceutical domain, so we do have some
Pharmaceutical?
certifications.
Very good. Ananya? Good.
so
I'm
I
in
work
supply
in
chain.
Go ahead.
no, I work in operations, which has a lot of technologies like Azure, Microsoft, VMware, Citrix. So
Very
I'm
good.
into a global program manager role, but
Mhm.
technically these are the certain technologies which the portfolio we are handling for operations.
Amazing. Like it. Thanks for sharing that. Any other domain?
Yeah, like I work for structural beam designing. We do have also some certifications for the softwares, like
Okay.
certified professionals get more advantages
Construction, it's a
while
BIM, right? BIM.
building information modeling.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
So
Thanks for
we
sharing that.
also have certifications program which provides some softwares companies like AWS, like that.
Okay. Interesting. Like that. Like that. Any other
Yeah,
certificates?
I work in the automobile domain, but
Mhm.
I work as IT governance head. So there's something in IT governance is what I have heard of from ISACA basically. But I'm
Okay.
not aware of any domain certification for automobile as such, because it's a very huge world out there.
Yeah. It's a big world, but still there are more. You have to search for it. I heard more in automobile. Different tracks, different certificates. Thanks for the people who shared the info. Why I asked this question here is, when we say certification, our brain should not get stuck with one particular area. When you learn management, because if you are listening this class today, if you are here, which means you already planned something you want to do in management. If not, you won't sit for this class. If not, you won't watch this in YouTube right now or later. The point you came here is, I want to do something in this track. In this track, plus you should gain some knowledge in other area. See, what do you mean by plus, man? See, I have another already I have 15 years of experience. I'm already serving as a manager. What do you want me to learn more? Now only your career starts. First 4-5 years, we are more focused on what we have to do at the team level. After next 5 years, you start focusing on handling few set of people. When you come to 15 years, you would have got some level of handling at the big organization level. Now is the time, the 8 to 15 years time is a good time to put a basement, which will make you to move to the director of the company or CEO of the company. But see, I don't have those wishes, man. If you don't have wishes, that's fine, completely, no force on you. But keep one thing in mind, if you have come this far to listen this class today, your brain is already processing. Your brain has those cells which is processing. You mean cell means battery? No, not that cell. Cells means something different. Your brain starts processing that images. Your images are working in your brain. What can you do better? If it is happening, if it is not happening, you won't be here. If it is happening, that's why you are here. Which means you can be the next top level executive of a company. I'm not going for CEO. Let's put CEO away. Let's put a director away. You are the next high level executive in a company. If you want to do that, it's not only PMP. Tomorrow you will do PGMP, program management. Another day you do Agile certification, automobile certification, pharmaceutical certification, BIM certification. You learn it. When you do that, chances are it goes high, right? All right. Thanks for the people who gave the inputs. I appreciate it. Now let's get to the game of PMP. Okay. So I set the track for the last 30-20 minutes to say that why we need to do this. The reason I'm still doing that is I could have started the first point to talk about PMP, but I see many people get the certificate but don't have the basement with them. See, what do you mean by basement? The basement is character. The basement is domain knowledge. Just a certificate. How you did it? I did 5 full exams. Somehow I cleared the exam. That won't help you. Maybe you got the certificate, but people don't recognize you. How you got, some people tell I got a license, car driving license. How you got in India? I paid some money, man. That guy gave me. That's not the way you get the certificate. When you come out, say that I'm PMP, before you say PMP, people should realize it. The way you talk, the way you write an email, the way you solve the problem, the way you critical situation solving, the way you digest things, or the way you go for emotional balance. Those all, when they see, they should say that, man, are you from top university? Are you from PMP certified? They should ask you before you say that PMP. That quality and caliber you have to improve. For that, you have to sit and read. I see people super urgent somehow to clear the exam. I will write 1,500 questions every day, somehow to clear the exam. Don't do that. Don't do that. If your family is suffering because of money and you want 10% hike, then go for it. If not, please don't do that. Take time, read carefully. When you come out and you say that I'm certified, that value should be there. For this, we will see what are the do's and don'ts for 2024. Some of the bullet points are well-known points to you. I see many people are who are already preparing for the exams. Some of you new here. Let's try to put those points. I'll take inputs from you as well. Right? Are you ready to watch out some of the do's and don'ts?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for giving a go signal here. Then I'll go for it. The first one is creating the exam date. This is a topic I would have said many times in the classes, and I take this opportunity to put it. If you are targeting in 2024, first mark a date. See, why I have to keep marking the date? Because I don't know what book to read. I don't know how my answers are coming up. Let it be whether the scores are bad. Let it be your book reading is going slow. It's okay. But first thing is mark a date. When I say mark a date, that is going to help you to prepare something called a study plan. Now let me put some points on this. Let me see if I can help you. Are you seeing a white screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Before I further go down here, in this room, how many of you know that when you're going to take the exam? Anyone here who know what the exam date?
Yes, Shri.
Exam week, I know.
Exam week, you're aware. Very good. Nice. At least close to that. Okay. Any other person with the date exactly? Please let know.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Nice to hear the yes. I know you all want to keep it secret. Don't want to tell in the public. I appreciate that. So let's put as Feb 29. Do we have 29 next year?
Yes.
Yes, we have.
Do you know there is a leap year?
Yes.
Yes.
Some of us may not know that. What the hell leap year? I don't understand, man. Okay, let's not worry about that. Don't understand. So now let's imagine the exam date is Feb 29. Okay, Feb 29 is the exam date. So from Jan 1st to Feb 29, how many days are there?
60.
60.
It is.
60. I think 60 or it'll be, yeah, 60, right? Should be close.
60.
So why I ask this is first having an exam date. When I say do's, the first important thing is putting an exam date will help us. How I worked out. First I marked the exam date. And then what I did is first understanding what I worked out. I'm talking years back. First I found out how many weekends are there. Do you think weekends are the right place to materialize? Now, if
Yes.
That is only an option.
Yes.
yeah, it's a
Yes.
great option. It's a great option, right? So if I say Feb 29 is my exam, if I starting from Jan 1st, I'll mark how many weekends are there. I think 8 weekends are there. So 8 weekends will give me 16 days of time. I'm just trying to I'm just showing you how to form a study plan. I marked it like this. It's going to be 16 days with me. Then I marked how many weekdays I have. But see, this is all very child kind of calculation. But yeah, it is, but it's worth using it. So I have, is it 44 days? Should be 44 days. Now, what happened is when I put this, I got a clarity. By the time when I was preparing, I had a clarity. In this one of the weekend on a Sunday, I have to visit some relative. I know that. So I have to cut short one particular day, goes out. In this, I know there are some office key meeting. Now I go to my office calendar. Everyone has Outlook calendar. We see the Outlook calendar. How many meetings are there? Any major program is coming up. I know 2-3 days will go off here. Let's be very practical. When I go practical, 16 goes of 15, 2 goes of 42. Now I know that. Now, what's the big deal, man? This anyone can do, right? What's the big deal? No. The point here is when I worked out on this, my brain made it very clear. Apart from this one day where I want to meet my relative, I will not waste next 15 days. Your brain starts calculating how to say no. I'll tell you, if you really want to get this certificate, specifically PMP certificate, You have to learn one skill. You know what skill is that? Just now I said, what skill is that?
No, telling no.
No. Start saying
Learn
no.
to say no. How many of you struggle because you don't know how to say no? Anyone here?
Yes. I struggle.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But don't say no when your manager is giving salary hike. Shri said, say no. I'm saying no. Come on, guys. Huh? Don't do that. Get that money. Okay. So when I say no, you should first know what is your caliber, what is your availability. Then only you will say no. The top management people say that, no, I'm not available. Straight point. Man, why you say like that? Because I know my calendar. Next 1 quarter, I know what I have to do. If I going to inject this work inside, I have to sacrifice something else. If you have that clarity, your plan starts getting ready well. Now comes a point, the key point, which I'll explain another couple of slides back later. You should know what all you have for a preparation. When I say what I have preparation, primarily in PMP, you have a big piece called people. What all can be under the people? Do anyone know this? What all can be under people subject?
Stakeholders.
Stakeholders,
Communication.
villains,
Okay.
Building team.
Okay. How about the leadership?
Leadership.
Leadership.
leadership skills.
Can come, right? Then there is a place called process. What all can be under the process?
6 constraints.
All
Management.
Schedule, post.
Right. Anything on the planning, anything you have to plan systematically, anything you have to do process oriented. Also, I'll put another big topic called Agile. I'm sure you are aware of this topic, Agile.
Yeah.
Now, what is happening here is when I know the number of days I have with me, now if I put the domains clearly what I want to go through, on top of that, I have to put all the practice tests I have to do. Do we know we have to do practice tests, right? How many practice exams you have to do before the main exam?
At least 3 more.
At least
3 or 4.
At least 5. I recommend people to do 5, but off late people say even 3 could help me because they're doing a lot of 60 questions exam also. They're doing it. Now, why I came to this points here is people, process, agile. Apart from this, some miscellaneous items are there. Let's not go there. I'm going to talk people, process, agile. Now, if you know how many days we have here in the planning, approximation, hardly 50 days, 55 days.
Yeah, 55 days.
Maybe 55 days, okay? Even if I'm clear on that, I can tell that I can use a 10 days here for people and I will tell 10 days for the process. I'll use a 10 days for agile. I may give 15 days for this. But it's a very rough calculation. This may not directly impact you because you will have something different. But the message here is first, if you have a date, I do a reverse calculation of how many weekends, how many weekdays. I look my office calendar. I'll deduct those days. I will deduct some days in the holidays. Now I'll go mark based on this. But here, one thing I didn't mention to you, when I put a 10, 10, 10, this could be a wrong calculation. You know how I should put? Now I'll tell you what you have to do. You should not put 10, 10, 10. Now, in this room, I have people 3 years experience. I have people 8 years experience. I have people 14 years experience. I have people 20 years experience. Now, do you think this knowledge will differ based on the experience also?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I know this area, I should focus which is more interesting for me now as a beginner. If I'm a 3 years experienced person, I would take people will eat a lot of my time. People take a lot of time for me because I'm new. I don't know how to do conflict management. I really don't know when 2 team members are having a problem, how to resolve it. I don't know. Whereas a process I can read faster. Shri, you said 3 years experience. When how they read the process faster? Possible. They don't know anything. When they read, the brain captures faster. A 15 years person struggle in process. You know that? Have you seen your parents ask them to use one mobile to another mobile, ask them to use something about new technology? They are used to the process for 30, 40 years. Suddenly, if you give them a new process, they won't accept it. Have you observed it?
Yes.
Whereas a child of a 5 years, 6 years, they learn faster using mobile and remote control. Have you observed it? Which means if you have a less experience, your process learning can be faster. You will mark 8 days to read the process. I'm just giving a number. If you're new, you will tell, I need 15 days to read people. You cannot blindly tell that everyone can read the people process faster. No, it differs. On top of that, your language ability, book reading habit, your distractions, your concentration, your family, your personal problem, medical issues, regular exercises, many things are coming. But Shri, why are you bringing everything here, man? You should be practical. You should know what you're telling. You should not compare with another person's plan. That guy is reading 7 days. I will also read in 7 days. That's a big mistake. Arnold Schwarzenegger, genetically his body is like that, where he can exercise for 4 hours, muscle builds up. You and me may not be genetically like that. We can do only 45 minutes or 2 hours exercise. Your body gets tired. That's what your body is made of. You cannot expect like Arnold Schwarzenegger 6.2 with a big shoulder. You cannot. The point is be very practical, understand what is the date. From the date, put the reverse calculation, understand the holidays, understand your office work. Now put the domains, see where you are capable and align the date. Now, why I'm saying all this thing here is many people without understanding this, blindly they try and they come to a conclusion, I will not go for this exam. Let's park it. They decide themselves. Many people don't even communicate to me. They decide themselves, let me not go to exam. But actually, when you start doing a practical way of calculation of what to do, chances are you get closer. I'm not saying this is going to be perfectly correct. I'm saying it better and closer. Now, let me put this question back to you. Anyone here thought and calculated in this reverse order for your exam?
Not it.
Next question. Will it help if we can do in this order?
Yes, definitely.
Of course, yes.
Okay. Because she said with high energy, I feel, hey, let's do it tomorrow. No, not like that. You have to think for yourself. I'll tell you what I did. I didn't do just blankly. I started reading and I understood that just reading will not help me. I need a plan. Then I start working out a plan. One thing I learned in my college days is failure to plan is planning to fail. Failure to plan is planning to fail. If you don't have a plan, you won't go anywhere. Shri, I'm Agile. Agile also have a plan. Agile also have a plan. Very dynamic plan, but plan should be there. So please start working out on the end date. Let me not pull all your time here. What I do is I'll come back to the next topic I want to talk. Hope you're getting the screen back again now.
Yes.
You got the screen back again? Okay. All right, let me check how much of time I have. Yeah, I may have another hour of time. I'll go for it. So 2 points very clear, exam date and study plan. This is not a new thing. You go to any blog, any internet website. It is not only me talking PMP. All over the world, a lot of trainers, everyone talk about it. Everyone gives the same message. But there is a meaning behind this message. But at least I believe after I learned psychology for a while, one thing I learned is human brain works very well when you have a date. When you have a date. You mean I have to date with someone? No, not that date. Date means exam date. So when you say exam date, you should have a clear date for it. Then it will work perfectly. Then let me go a little more. Right, let me travel. Improve reading ability. Let's go to the practical factors. This reading ability is a major problem for many people. The reason is, in this room, I have many people or people watching on YouTube. We are not native English people. Is this true? Is this true? It's pretty true, right? Many of us may not be native English people. This becomes a big problem in some of the critical terminology and words. We know that word. We know the word called assumption. We know the word called constraint. We know the word called blocker. But how this word is fitting into this sentence is a problem. Do anyone feel that problem? When a word you read, when it fitting into paragraph, a sentence, your brain can't process it. You feel that problem. Now, why I'm asking this question here is reading ability improvement can happen when, as I said in the beginning of the class, someone was asking about the songs, you start visualizing the context or visualizing the information. For this, I request people to read, there is something called vocabulary. Where you can read the vocabulary of project management?
Glossary.
Glossary. Every day, if we can spend 10 or 15 words you can read, nice. On top of that, add another book with you to read, not management book, non-management book. Take any other book, sit and read it. Before you close the day, read 2-3 pages of the book and read. Sleep. For example, I said about some motivational books or some self-learning books. Read something. Don't always read PMP. Give a pass, read something else. Improve your reading habits. Reading habits is very important, not only for the exam, even after the exam. It's pretty important for you. Okay, then what is the next one? When I say reading habits, two things I have to talk about. One is a book reading, the other one is question reading. In all the points, if I want to point out one thing, this area, I see many people struggle hard. If you want to target exams for towards your coming quarter or coming year, if at all you want to improve one thing, you want to improve on question reading ability. Many people read the question, but really don't get the meaning of what has been asked for. There are many reasons behind this. One is your experience or prejudging while reading the question. There are people, this is not question reading. Even when they converse with their parents or a spouse, before they complete the sentence, this guy would start talking. Do you have this kind of romantic people around you? Before you complete, they will start talking. Do you? I can see some of you. Oh, I can't disclose it. That guy is next to me now. Okay. So point is, what I want to point out here is it's not about men or women, any gender. The problem is there. While reading, while listening, allowing your brain to go through all, digest it, and then respond. That's a leadership thought process. Before somebody complete, you start jumping in, chances are your brain starts cutting down to get the real message. So allow the opponent to speak. Allow the question to get inside you. So read the question calm, composed. But problem here, at least people from India or people from Asia, when they take exam, they're very eager to see the number 10 out of 10, 10 out of 9. What is a number? What is a number? Because we have grown up for 20 years in school and college about the mark system. This exam is not mark system. This exam is only about, are you understanding the concepts? So mark system only will not help you. The mark will definitely show you where you are. I'm not denying that, but don't jump to mark right away. The main part is improving the question reading ability. Even if you get 0 mark in the initial days, it's completely fine. Spend time to read the question. Understand what they mean by that. I have said in the classes, or I'll repeat again in the classes when it starts, you have to go for understanding the terms in the question, last sentence in the question, elimination technique. You have to see some right vocabulary of PMI in the answers. You have to see who is targeted in the question. What is the tense of the question? Is it a past tense or a present tense? When you observe carefully, you can answer it well. One word, one sentence will change the whole context. Many people, when they read the question, they try to solve the whole company problem in one question. They suddenly become Ambani. They suddenly become Ratan Tata. See, this question, I want to something I have to do for this company, man. How can I invest money? Hey, solve the problem between two guys fighting in the team. They didn't ask you to. No, when I read the question, blood is boiling, man. Don't boil. They're asking what to do here. That's it. Do that, close the door, go home. Don't do extra factors. PMI is very clear, to the point. Quality means meeting the requirements, to the point. Don't over exaggerate the things. Yeah, that's also a problem. Some places they'll tell you, they will specifically tell you there is a situation. Can you please think on that? Do something more. There you do. If they ask exactly what, there you have to stop. Now, if you are a newcomer here, you are listening to this kind of PMP class first time, sure, you don't know much about what the question is, but in the class, you will start learning how to read the question. That's very important. Reading ability is pretty important. Now, anyone you want to tell that question reading is always challenging? Question reading is a challenging.
Yes.
What kind of challenge?
So basically, once the elimination technique is applied, we are always stuck between the two right answers. So we feel that both the options can be correct. So confusion lies there actually.
You know, when you say 2 answers, you got it. Some people say at least you got that. I'm struggling with the 4 itself.
Another reason is if the question is too long, a lot of
Lose
people
the-
lose patience to read the question completely.
That's also there, right? Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. That is really tough, I know. 4, 5 lines. When you come to 5th line, you don't know
line.
why we are sitting here. Okay, I recognize that. I heard another
There are
voice.
some
Mhm.
key like least, best.
Yeah,
Okay. So those are the keywords in the questions, I believe.
right, right. So point is,
Vocabulary,
Also,
what we
also, I feel like first 2, 3 questions are good to read. After that, then like yeah, that comes down.
that's because of your
okay,
mindset.
okay.
Yeah.
No, this will not happen, Gayatri, once you paid the exam fee.
Okay.
This will not happen. Okay.
Maybe
First two,
mocks are free.
you are sitting relaxed anyway. ShriLearning is always available. We'll click the button anytime. No. Once you pay the fee, when you sit in the exam hall, all your eyes will be wide open. You'll be like $500, $500, $500. Yeah, you'll be so alert. I recognize that point. I have seen many people after 80 or 90 question, their score starts dropping because they start losing the rhythm. Okay, anyway, we'll talk about that. I'll talk about the don'ts when I come there. Thanks for the points. Critical thinking. Now I'll come to this point. Some of the do's which you have to do. This is not only for the PMP exam for 2024. This is for a career also. What is critical thinking? I'll talk and explain something in the next slide. Before that, you have to understand problem-solving skills. In exam reading or exam preparation or a question, don't look for how can I find answer. Look for your brain to say that I will or I like to solve a problem. You have to improve that critical thinking. Critical thinking is unbiased, data-based, data-oriented thinking, not blind thinking. Somebody without any knowledge is sitting in a hall, I'm thinking. No, not that thinking. Thinking means with the knowledge, what to do, how to do. Observing the information. That's why I said question reading is important. Book reading is very, very important. Maybe I'm going back to the same point again. There are many people say that I listen video, listen audio. Yes, it's really, really good. But if you don't sit and read, your brain cannot process it. Unfortunately, till now, that's how the situation is. Even though audiobooks are available, video books are available, still reading power is very high. I'll come back to the critical problem. The critical thinking and problem solving is very important because in exam, out of 180 questions, nearly 170 or 175 questions are going to be problem statements. A problem statement based on the money unavailability in the project. A problem statement, there is a blocker. A problem statement, agile team could not move forward. Many situations are given and your brain has to solve the problem. The more you tell your brain, I'm a problem solver, I'm a critical thinking person. So learning more on critical thinking helps you a lot. I'll hold here, I'll come back to critical thinking again because I have to share one more point. On the do's, other point, the last point for you is improving leadership mindset. See, what is a leadership mindset? Now, what happens is when I see many people go for the preparation exam, they are very much on the team-oriented thought as if they are part of the team. That's really good. You're being part of the team. On top of that, you have to improve that level. You are part of the team. Also, you are the person who is accountable for the team. If I'm a team member, if I go to the exam hall, I'm thinking from the team member perspective, nice, some level is fine. But here the exam is not for that reason, right? The exam is project management professional. They look for your leadership thought. What is a leadership thought? Having a vision, having a goal, being proactive, forecasting things, doing benefit for the people of the organization, doing benefit of goal, being successful for the project, unbiased view. Such kind of thought process you have to develop. But Shri, I'm already such a person. If you're already such a person, nothing worry. Your scores will start coming up automatically. If you don't develop that thought process, what will happen is you will only underplay in the project team itself. And sometimes I hear some people say that, Shri, practically this won't work, man. It's only theoretically. which means their brain is not processing on leadership area. When the brain starts processing leadership area, it's possible. It's possible. That's how it should work. When Henry Ford don't have any formal education, hope you know who is Henry Ford, 100 years back. Henry Ford don't have any formal education. Many people said this kind of engine is impossible. He said it's possible, make it happen. His critical thinking is super high. He gave some ideas, make it happen. An engineer said no. He said it's possible, make it happen. Because a visionary, goal person, thought-oriented, proactive, forecasting. And one day the engineers came and said, yes, it's possible, we made it. All qualified engineers, but this person above them, possible, make it happen. That leadership thought process. I'm not asking you to force team, but looking forward, benefit of the organization, benefit of the society, benefit of value addition. That is what the PMP exam is looking for. When you go and sit in the PMP examination, they're not looking for only team level players. They look for leadership thought process also. Specifically, when it comes to Agile, the focus will be more on Agile oriented leadership thought process. All right. What I do is, some of the do's what I put here, I'll put something on a critical thinking. Critical. Why critical thinking is important? Now, before I go furthermore, do anyone recognize in your job there is a critical thinking portion needed? Is the demand for critical thinking?
Yes. Yes.
What kind of critical thinking expected?
So when you are faced with some kind of problem, so how you should react to that problem, so in that way it helps actually. If you are critically thinking the problem, and then you will be more apt to find the solution for that problem.
And that should not impact the relationship also. Yeah.
And
Unbiased.
also not
When
just
we are
looking at the surface level of the issue, like you need to deep dive into it.
That's
you
a
need
good
to
one,
understand the root cause of this problem actually.
Not surface level, go deeper. I like that point. Very good. Nice.
Situational based intelligence.
Situational based leadership or intelligence. Nice. No. Now, question to you, for critical thinking, do you need to have a high Q?
No, not required.
You should come from top university?
No.
Best high scoring person?
No.
You should be highly paid employee in the company?
No.
Now, what happened is in society, somehow this misbelief has been created. People come from high society. People coming from this particular category. People from this particular category in the corporate. These are the people critical thinking. Let's talk can be a dump. You know what is a dump? Like what you see in the Mummy movie. Have you seen the Mummy movies?
Yeah.
What is that they do? One guy will come and tell he mo way. All 1,000 employees will hold the paper. He mo way. No, you are a critical thinker. You are an amazing critical thinker. Unfortunately, you didn't open that small box in your brain. They don't allow you to open, or you don't open. See, why you say they don't allow you to open? Yes, some places they want you dumb. They want you dumb. Even if you give an idea, they say, no, stop that. Go and do your job. Have you heard this kind of dialogues? Do a job. However, critical thinking is some of the beautiful things somebody can develop as a human being. If a critical thinking is not done, today you and me don't have a computer like this to sit and talk to each other, sitting from different countries. Critical thinking is a very beautiful skill of a human being. None other living being have. Only we have it. If you don't use it, you are going to be a normal living being in the life. One day you will expire. Critical thinking is very important, but how to use it? Some points of critical thinking, I'm sure, directly helps you in PMP examination. Okay, let's see some factors. What is critical thinking? Few steps here. Observation. What is observation here? The action or a process of closely observing and monitoring something or someone, which means understanding the subject depth and core information with the context of why it is being said. The observation or listening, active listening, is a first start of critical thinking. If you cannot do that, your doors are shut. How to be observing very carefully? Reducing the distractions. Distractions, you know what is your distraction. If you can reduce a distraction, only your critical thinking door opens. Keep one thing in mind. Critical thinking, why it is kept to some cadre of people, some level of people, is because they avoid distractions. If we cannot avoid distractions, we automatically fall under the category called bottom 80%. And we say that God is not giving anything me, life is like that. No, we are doing ourselves the mistakes. Continuously watching YouTube, we are closing the door. The first point of critical thinking is observation. While reading the exam question, keep your mind open, observe, get very close to the context of what they're saying. Number 2, analysis. Detailed examination of elements and structure. Go detail on depth of it. You have to go. Someone rightly said here, not going at the surface, go deeper. I heard a voice about don't go in the surface level. Inferences, reach conclusion based on data, personal intelligence. Don't reach conclusion just like that somebody said. Understand in detail before you go for conclusion. Gathering, analyzing data, now apply to solve the problem. See here, first observation, analyze, then you look for synthesizing, that is a combination of components and elements, and then you look for a data, detailed information, then you only go for problem solving. But see how this will help for PMP. The reason I'm putting here is, many times while reading the question itself, half of the reading, your brain starts telling that could be the answer. Nice, your brain works well. I'm not saying bad about it, but did your brain took time to analyze, synthesize, inferences? You're able to get that whole globe of it, and then you're coming with a solution. This is not for PMP, your real life also, your corporate life also. You're sitting in the meeting room. In the name sake of asking questions, some people ask question. Why it's like this? No, you shouldn't ask question like that. Your question should make people to think, and then they should say, that's a point, man. Wow, that's a point. I didn't thought about it. If you can do that kind of question, your brain starts working. For the namesake, should not ask a question. Now, how to do this as a process is a practice. Day by day it happens. But see, why you're talking that in PMP classes? PMP exams are psychometric exam. What is psychometric exam is every question has some pattern. You have to understand what they're trying to say. You have to respond to that question, not react to the question. Unfortunately, many people react to the question faster before they read the question fully, before they understand the answers correctly. Or while reading the book, they read the English words, but not getting the message. Shri, I completed reading, man. One reading I'm done. What you did? I read fully end to end. Did you understood it? Have you taken notes of it? Did you put analysis? Did you do synthesizes? Have you done that? If you done that workshop, I'm sure your knowledge would be better. How many of you have a habit of taking notes? When you read, when you listen, you take notes.
I do it frequently.
Yes.
You do
I
that?
do it.
Yeah.
After your session started doing
Yes.
it. Yes.
People who take notes, can you tell me, is it really helpful for your brain to connect?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
There are some people, I have some intelligent people from the first bench, they don't take any notes, just listen, they get it. There are people. I will not deny that. But what if you are not first bench, you are not last bench, you are middle somewhere, lifelong middle. You want to be there? Lifelong middle. Lifelong middle. No, don't do that. Look something what you can take out of this subject. Note it down. Observe it. When you go back to Monday office, you have to see in stakeholder management what they're doing there. If they don't have stakeholder management, when these two guys are talking, what kind of management happening here? If you can do that, you're doing a data analysis, personal intelligence, you start using your brain. Your next boxes in the brain starts opening. Your brain is of all boxes. You open the next box, next box, next box. If you can do that, your brain starts thinking better. Now, why I'm saying this is, when you go for the examination, they want to see if your brain is thinking better, or you have only read the book and trying to give the answers. And that's a primary do you have to do. Now, let me go a little back to show what I want to share with you here. If I say do's, very clear on your goal, final goal. As Stephen Covey says, begin with the end in mind. Do anyone know who is Stephen Covey? Have you heard about Stephen Covey? Motivational speaker, book author.
7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Very good, very good. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. First thing first. Those kind of nice, good books are there. Many books also there. Primarily, he talks in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. One of the habit is begin with the end in mind. begin with the end in mind. You should know what is the end. When you do that, your brain works better. Then, as I said, a study plan, be very clear to do a reverse order to see how many days you have. Improve your reading habit, even though listen audio, video, read. In a sense, read PMP management books. Top of that, read another book also, so that you get some fresh thought process. Question reading ability, it's compulsory, you have to improve. No excuse on this, no escape on this. You have to work on it. For that, you have to improve on your critical thinking and leadership mindset. When you do this, chances are you start focusing and moving towards your goal. All right. Nice to see do's. Can we see some don'ts also? What should not do?
Yes.
What should not do? Don't pay the exam fee. Huh? Okay. Let's see some don'ts also. Don't. The first one is too many items in progress. Anyone here struggle on this? First items, too many item in progress. What do you mean too many item in progress?
Kanban board.
Oh, Kanban board. Okay. Oh, question here is, do anyone struggle on many items? When I say many items, your personal goals, your corporate goals, your family things, all comes in.
Yes.
And end of day, you don't know what you did. The whole day has gone. When you close the day, you feel, shucks, man, another day wasted. I sometimes literally hear this word, another day wasted. You know why it is called wasted? If I have number of items, item number 3, 4, 6, 7, you do this item for 10 minutes, then you go to another item, another 15 minutes. And again, this item, this item. You keep switching. When the day over, none of this item got completed.
Right.
This happens to many people, and the end of the day, they feel, shucks, man, tired. Now, what happens is in this all 7 items or 4 items, you know which item we do most?
Task switching. We keep doing the whole day.
Which is easy and which is happy for you. I'm sure you have to do happy. The people who say I don't have, they are the people who say I don't have a time. They are the people who watch a lot of YouTube shorts. The people say I don't have a time. They are the one always chatting in the WhatsApp. The people don't have any time. They are the people who sleep a lot. Which means the work in progress, they don't know the priority of the work in progress. So first thing is in the 2024, if you want to look out for PMP or any job search, first reduce your work in progress. For this, you have to prioritize what is important. For prioritizing, you should know what is next for next 3 years of time, not 1 year. At least 3 years of time, you should know what you have to do. Then you can go for your goal setting. Okay, this is the first point. What is the second point? Too much of materials. Now, what happens is in the name of PMP certification, people go to different platforms and download books of different versions or different PDFs. Cousin gave one book, my uncle gave a book. You get book from everyone and your folder is full of books, different material. Now, what we found in the over period of time is people who go with the 1 or 2 material, stay focused. They are able to complete the syllabus on time. They're able to read well. They're able to take notes effectively. They're able to go to the exam as per the time. Now, why I'm pointing out is in this market of project management, subject-wise or material-wise, you will get an ocean of content. If you're going to search for all this team and keep on reading here, there, you won't get what you want. Get one book, one material or 2 book, read completely, understand thoroughly, take notes. If you don't understand something on that, discuss with your team. That's why we have a WhatsApp groups and buddy group. You'll talk with them. And by this, chances are you don't keep jumping and task switching. You focus on one area. How many of you here have a hard copy of the book to write down notes on that?
I have.
I have.
Is it a hard copy pretty important for us?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's easy to read.
That makes us to focus, isn't it? All right.
Yeah.
The next one is only taking questions without analyzing. I have many people believing that I will take 10,000 questions. That will help me to clear the exam. Possible. It's possible. There are exceptional cases. It's possible. But 2 problems going to happen here. Number 1 problem. You will get certified. You will have certificate, but you may not have that conceptual knowledge of how to solve a problem. You will be good in solving only questions, but not on the real problem, because you may not get the global view of things. Only a person who read properly can get a global view on the job. The second problem is when you do only question solving, what is happening here is you are getting used with that particular question bank model, or maybe another question bank model. When you go to real exam, the real exam is not from one question bank. They keep shuffling the question, they keep adding, keep removing. You will get totally surprised. Even if you go there, you get different variety of thought process. You cannot process it. Why I'm saying this point here is people don't read the book. They're not reading the concepts. Only practicing the questions will be a problem if your brain cannot analyze the detail. So answer is take the question, spend time to analyze those questions. I'll ask someone here who took exams recently. How much of time you take to analyze the question? How much of time you took to analyze the exam questions?
Shri, if you ask me, the first mock that I did, I took 20 days time to do complete 180 question analysis.
Wow. Wow. Do you think 20 days is long or it's a worth investment?
It is worth investment because the scores really improved. In between, I took short marks that also helped, but doing deep analysis of the right answers and wrong, everything helps. It is needed. Analysis is very important.
Okay. Okay. Now, will you or did you read the books also in this timeline?
Yes. I had the Pimbox 7 printed copy, so I went back to that. Like you rightly mentioned, I did make notes on the book wherever required.
Okay, that's impressive. Thanks, Madhavi. I really appreciate that point. And Madhavi is a PMP certified. I really appreciate her sitting and listening after certified. Because once you get certified, it's okay, all over, shut down everything, delete all the WhatsApp groups. She's still around and helping us. Thanks, Madhavi. Now, coming back here, why I point out this here is if you think that I will only take questions every day, with this my scores will improve. Chances are it may, but you may be 100 of 1%. It's always a good idea to take time to analyze the question. So don't rely only on the questions. Analyzing is important. What is next? Don't compare yours with other person. This is one of the important don't. I have to say this. There are many people with a different variety of knowledge. Schools are different, college is different, family background is different, time availability is different. There are some people, their job can be a little free right now. There are some people newly joined in a job, your job will be demanding you more. Some of you could be a mom right now and you have a kid who to take care of it. Some of you grown-up kids are in the family. So different situations are there. Don't compare with people. Why I have to tell this? When we have a community, a group of people preparing for the examination, someone shares a score, I'm getting 9 out of 10. Another person should get motivated or demotivated. Both will happen. Motivated, yeah, nice, I can also do that. Other person feels that, shakes, man, I'm not doing it. When they are doing, I'm not doing it. And people have this habit of comparing from school and college. I think that's the way we've grown up, right? Our parents show the cousin, that guy, how this guy reads, you're not reading properly. And we keep comparing regularly, and that also demotivates us. If you take it in a motivational way, I'm happy. But if not, please don't compare with anyone. Your life, your turn. You keep running. You keep doing a job. Maybe it is their turn, they're doing a job. When it comes to yours, you give your whole effort. Now you go on your pattern of reading. If you think 3 months it will take for exam, it's okay. If you think it will be 6 months, completely okay. See, you waited 8 to 10 years to come for the PMP certificate. Can't you wait another 2 weeks? There are some people, somehow have to clear tomorrow. Man, you waited 14 years for this exam. 14 years, where you were? You were sleeping. Suddenly you wake up and you say, tomorrow, wow, man, I have to. Come on, it will be there only. Nothing will change. The world will be same. The point here is take time and go on your style, do good. Keep one thing in mind, when you come out, you should be a complete person. You should feel that, yes, I did a good job. So please don't compare with the other person, their preparation plan, scores, reading ability. Don't compare. It's yours. Your life is yours. Okay, let's see another don't here. Next don't is don't read only at your free time and expect the great results. This again goes back to the planning part, which you saw in the do area. There are situations where people don't want to give a specific allocated time. And people feel that when I get a time, I read. Monday, I don't have time. Okay. Tuesday, I won't have time. Wednesday, chances are 20 minutes I'll read. Then Friday, I'll read there. This kind of pattern of reading never gave results. There should be some consistent pattern of reading. You should spend at least these many hours in a day, these many minutes in a day at least. You should have some reading pattern that should be very consistent. If you think I will read only on the free time, it won't happen. I remember this word saying that if you want to achieve something you never achieved in your life, you have to be a person never been before. If you want to achieve something you never achieved in your life, you have to be a person never been before. If you're going to do the same thing, but you expect some other results, it won't happen. I think that's not the way the world works. You have to put some effort. Now, question to people who are preparing here. I believe you're out of this mindset that I will read only in the free time. Do I have people here who have a specific time every day? People here?
Yes.
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 Ah,
Yes.
good to
Yes.
know. Good to know. I'm hearing a lot of yes, and I'm happy now. So how many minutes people are reading here? Minutes or hours? I know nobody is going to compare with you. Just a number.
More than 1 hour?
1
1
hour.
hour.
1 hour.
1 to 1 hour.
Nice to know. Good to know. I know some of you who could not answer would have felt that 1 hour this guy reads. Huh? Okay. I read only the word PMP, 2 minutes over. By the time a manager is calling me. So situations are like that. Some people, it's okay. Sometime later it'll pick up. But have that consistency of reading. Free time reading, what happens is it'll drag long duration. I have people who are preparing for PMP for 3 years. 3 years. Still they are in touch with me. Where are you? I read this particular page, Shri. When? The last 1 month. 1 month, 1 page. When that guy completes 2 chapter, PMI changes to next book. Happened. I have person, and this person come back and says, "Shri, I read that book half now." I said, "Are you aware another book has come in the market?" "Oh, really? When it came?" "It came 1 year back, man." "Shakes, man. Can you download that book? Give me the book." That's it. You send the book, they download after 1 month. It's not downloading. Yeah, what happened? Book is gone. Now, how you expect the results? After 4 years, I say that nothing happening. Life is so bad. God is so bad with me, you know. That person getting promotion, it's not happening. How it will happen? You have to take some efforts, right? So if you don't spend some specific time, it's not for you. This certificate, I have different certificate. Come with me for Scrum certification or Agile certification. There are some certificates you can do the same pattern, like read in a free time, relaxed way, you clear the exam. PMP, you cannot do that. You have to spend some time on an allocated passion. Yep. Okay, let's go a little more. Don't try to remember all the concepts. As you're pointing out here, I heard or I said a few minutes back here, understanding the concepts is important. Remembering is not important. But Shri, you mean remembering means I should not know what is Maslow theory? Yeah, you should know about it. I should not know about earned value management calculation. You should know about it. But memorizing means without understanding where the Maslow theory will be used. Is it on the leadership level, team level, or a problem solving? Where I should use it? Earned value management. Yeah, there is a formula. Earn value, plan, there's a formula. Sure, I know formula by memory. That's nice. Why that formula exists? With this formula, what is the outcome? If the formula does not exist, what I will do? Is this formula going to help me to forecast? If you can understand that, that is called not remembering, you are getting it, depth. As you do that, that starts working. And that I'll put like you should live or visualize the concepts. And when you go for interviews, at least in some countries, when you say you're PMP certified, they will not ask what is earned value management. They'll ask you a real problem statement to make you to solve it. If you say, I know risk management in interviews, there are some countries, they literally ask you, how do you solve this problem in this risk situation? You cannot tell that in the book I read, there is something called mitigation. There is something called avoidance. there is something called accept, right? You can ask them, hey, you are for interview, man. You're asking me. You can't do that, right? There are some people, no, Shriram said that, mitigate, last, accept, yeah. They won't give you a job. Surely they won't give you a job. You have to start getting that concepts. The message here is go deeper on the concepts and understand that, and that will help you in the exam question also. Now back to the people here. How many of you feel very hard understanding the subject? When you move from chapter 1 to chapter 4, you are not remembering chapter 1. You forgot it already. Anyone here?
Yeah, it is happening actually.
It's happening. Okay, so what is the solution for that? What are you doing for it?
Again, going back to that chapter and trying to understand.
Ananya says
And,
something.
and actually, when we are moving to next chapter, it is interlinked. So it is able to bring back the older one to memory. So even if we forgot, it is somewhat interlinking and make us to think again.
I like that point. How do you found it's interlinking?
Each topic having a default one.
Okay. So yeah, stakeholder management will have a connection with somewhere in risk management. Is it possible?
Yes.
Yes,
Possible.
Communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the risk is happening, will it have impact on the cost of the project?
Yes.
Yes.
Possible. When the cost is having some problem, this should be communicated in the communication plan.
Yes.
Right. Now, rightly shared by Akila that everything has a connection, but the problem here is still some of the concepts you cannot just remember it. When you read one particular area, for example, you read about in communication management, you read about encoding, transmitting, decoding a message. If you really don't understand the picture, why we have to encode, why we have to transmit, why we have to encode it, I'm sure when you cross 4th chapter, somebody's asking what is the model of communication. Shakes, man, something I read, man. Something called encrypting, decrypting. No, encoding, decoding, not encrypting. Encoding. The problem here is, if you don't understand, encoding is we are putting a message in a packet which my stakeholder can understand. And I'm transmitting the right way where they can get it. If I don't do this with my vendor will not understand what they want. And that can bring something called gulf of evolution. It means the gap. When you understand the story, it will stay with you. If not, if I move to next chapter, I'll still worried, is it encoding or encrypting? You start thinking the same way. But it takes time. It won't happen within 2 weeks. It takes time. You have to digest the concepts. So thanks, Akila, for telling that point of connections. It's there, but takes time. Okay, some of the don'ts here. Let me put some points here. Oh, Madhavi, go ahead.
Shri, can I reiterate on one of the points that you mentioned?
Sure.
Yeah, so I would like to talk about the second point, which is too much of materials. To reiterate that for the people who are preparing. I did that mistake. I loaded my brain with too much of information, reading too many things which were available. I had mentioned in the past as well, please do not do that. Like Shriram rightly mentioned, stick on to 1 or 2 books, do good reading, analysis. I think that should be good.
That's a good point, Madhavi. Thanks for sharing that real experience. But why you want to say too much worried you? Because you got the certificate, right?
Yeah, for me, mainly it was the time that I had fixed. So with the fear that, I may miss out some information. So I really loaded a lot of information to my head, which was not required.
That would have helped you clear the exam.
Yeah, exam clear, but at some point of time, you start getting too confused with too much of information. Like you rightly say, right, the brain can take only certain amount of information. If you're trying to load it with too much of information, tendency to forget is like more.
Of course. Yeah, that's a good point. I like the openness and honesty, what you said. You say that's a good point, right?
See,
I think
is the time, I'm sorry. One is a time, Shri. We will, if in case we are reading too many things and all, a lot of our time will go in that. And too much of information, again, it will lead to a lot of confusion.
Also, unwanted fear starts coming out.
Exactly. That is the reason I wanted to reiterate on that particular point.
That is a good point. That's a good point. I do have people reach out to Shri. Can I practice only ShriLearning exam, another exam, another exam? I don't stop you. Please go for it. You can do that. Yeah, because going different avenues also will help you, but don't overdo it. Overdoing also start confusing you. Maybe one more model you can try, but don't do much. Because when you read different books, when you practice a lot of questions, what happens is your brain getting restless. You don't know where you are to focus. That's what it is. That's a good point, Madhavi. I appreciate that. Nice.
Brain gets exhausted as well.
But the worry is, right, what Madhavi said is correct. What if I miss something? Isn't it? That
Yeah.
worry is always there. What if I miss something? Why I'm not scoring more than 5 in a chapter test? Maybe I'm not reading the book enough. Could be a thought, right? For a common man, that's a thought. Out of 10 questions, I'm getting only 4, which means the book which I read, only 30 pages, it's not sufficient. I would read it another 30 pages. Yeah, that could be the reason. But to answer all of this, I said a few minutes back here, saying that improve that critical thinking, improve the reading ability. The 30 pages what you read it again, you get a different meaning. Read it again, you get a different meaning. Read after you get certification, you see a different meaning. Anyone here? Maybe Madhavi can tell. Madhavi, you read after the exam?
I'm still reading, yes.
Now you find a different meaning?
Yes.
It's
See, during the exam, the only intention is you have to pass. That was the mindset. So you will just read and
Yeah.
aim will be only to have the right answers. But
Exactly.
after that, when you start reading, the understanding is different.
Yeah, it's totally different. It's something like listening to a romantic love song. Before marriage, after marriage is different. 10 years of marriage is totally different. They switch up the song, man. So things can change. All right, let's go on. All right. I know I was talking more on the do's and don'ts. I believe you got some couple of points on that for preparation. Quickly, some factors about the project planning, which you have to be observed for the examination and preparation. Your exam will evolve around these areas. Okay. The 4 areas which the exam will evolve is about the assumptions made in the project. The constraints, I believe you are aware, called 6 constraints are there. What are the constraints in project management? 6 constraints?
Scope,
budget,
quality, procurement,
resources,
Resources,
Scope, schedule,
cost,
budget.
But these 3 top, always keep this 3 in point. It's called triple constraint. These 3 on the top. And then we have something called risk. Then
resources.
resources. When I say resource, it will be human, material, equipment. Is it correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
And finally, one more is there. What is that?
Quality.
Procurement.
Procurement will not fall under constraints. Rather, it is one of a knowledge which you will be aware in project management. So this is 6 items are the constraints in project management. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, why I brought this out is your project management knowledge, not only for exam, in your office, when you go Monday to office, Monday is holiday, I believe, Tuesday go to office, your office work or examination or a book totally goes in this area only. They talk about the constraints. In fact, the risk is part of the constraint. You talk about some of the assumptions and dependencies. These 2 are silent players. Silent players. You can't visibly see that, but your many work will be based on this. Okay. Let me show some information on this, what it is. Project assumptions. I'll put some points on certain topics. Okay. So it'll help you. When you say assumptions are beliefs that are likely to be true. It's not true. Likely. What do you mean by likely? Can I call it as a maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe, right? Or happen in the project, but are not certain. It's not sure. These are based on experience. Experience of who? Experience of who? Experience of who?
The team.
expert, subject matter expert.
Exactly. You call them as a SME, or you can call even the project manager, or maybe your sponsor. Anyone can give assumptions, right? The people who have a decision-making authority, they're going to give assumptions. So assumptions could be maybe stakeholders will support us. Assumptions, market demand will be the same as before, isn't it? But demand can change. Technology reliability, we have assumption. We are relying on the technology. Customer satisfaction, we assume it will work. Resource availability, we think that. Many things we open with assumptions. Usually when the project starts, if a project is having a timeline, let's say 12 months it's going to happen, we will start the project. Even when we pre-plan the project, we'll start with assumptions. We'll start with assumptions. But the assumptions can become true or a false. Assumptions can become even a negative. It can turn into risk also. For example, resource availability. We thought all the material human would be available. What if they're not available? They can turn into risk, isn't it? That can turn into a quality problem. It can release some budget problem. It can come into some schedules problem. So assumptions is a silent player in the project. Shri, why you're talking this in this class? This class I marked for the target for 2024 PMP. I have some people who are preparing already. Some of you just going to start. Be very clear. Assumptions play a major role in project, which is a silent player, which will be inside the system. You don't even notice it. However, assumption log is there. You can create a log. What all can be assumptions in the project? You can record it. That assumptions can turn true or can go false. Now, assumptions only is not the game player. There are another player is there. The player is called a constraint. I just showed you 6 constraints. Top of that, we also have a customer satisfaction, 7th one. But primarily, we measure this as 6 items. For this, we have a graph to talk about happiness index. We'll see what it is. Now, constraints or limitations are the word restrictions imposed by who? By sponsor primarily or a client. They are imposing a constraint on your project. They're telling that within next 12 months, you have to complete the project. The budget is only 5.5 million. This is what available skills your company says, which means there is a restriction given on the project goal. You have to achieve the goal, but this is a time. So you have to get the World Cup, and this is a score you have to get. So you will given a limitation within the limitation. Now, assumptions came by your knowledge or situation around the society, which can go true or false. But this is true. They're given it. This is true, right? Nothing to say false. They've said that that's the money I can give you. That's the time I have. You have to do that. Now, assumptions, constraints play a role in project decision. On top of that, when you go little down inside the project, apart from assumptions, constraints, there is one player which will choose when you will complete the work. You know who's that? Apart from assumption constraints, there is one player who will decide when your work will get completed. Who's that?
Oh.
That guy name is called dependencies. Have you heard the word dependencies?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, dependency decides your project execution and deliverable. A logical dependency, which is a mandatory. Only when this is completed, this can start. Mandatory. There is a dependency called discretionary, which is your company's preferred way of working. And you found that's a good way of working. There are some resource-based dependencies. There are some organizational dependencies, domain-specific dependencies. There are some external world, government dependencies, policy dependencies. But Shri, why are we talking this? You should be aware when you read a question, when you prepare for the examination, it is always there with a few factors. Some assumptions are there in project management. That's why your project is happening now. There are some constraints given by the sponsors. Within that, we are playing the game. The game is given like this. A video game is within this time you have to complete. There are some dependencies within one item to another item that can decide your project time, project money, project risk. So now you as a manager navigating within this, you're playing the game. Like a road rash or a runner, some game you play within that game, rules. When you play within the rules, you have to keep this in mind. Now, why we are discussing this is when you're targeting for 2024 PMP, don't read the book just like that. When you read the book, keep these points in mind. I'm doing a project. Maybe I'm the one developing a mobile application for software agency. Maybe I'm the one doing a construction of a building. I'm designing a construction model. Maybe I'm the one coming up with a medicine for this particular thing. Think like that. Now you think, what are the assumptions I will have in this project? What are the dependencies can exist? What are the constraints should be followed? When you can think in that direction, now your reading gets more interesting. Shri, why are you saying this, man? When I'm preparing, this is how I read. When I'm preparing, I don't watch YouTube channel. Not this much of channel available by the time. I think 2015, 2016, I don't, maybe it would have existed, but I didn't know much about it. Those is at least I don't have that much of internet facility to watch all these features. I don't have too much of books. I don't know much about the PMP by the time, but what I did is I worked out on my paper what I have to visualize while reading. At least being the last bencher, my visualization is good. I keep visualizing more, how things will be, how things will be. So I visualized myself. I literally did it. What I did is the city where I lived, opposite the airport, there was very open land. While I was driving one day to office, I was looking the land. And then I thought, let me construct a 5-star hotel in front of this hospital, in this airport. If I want to come at the hospital in front of this airport, what all I have to do? I started looking into this constraints. I looked at constraints. I looked at assumptions. I looked at dependencies. I looked at risk. I literally draw this in my book. When I read the chapter in stakeholder management, I'll see how this will help me in dependency, how this will help me in constraints. I'll read in that pattern. Now, I never get bored of reading the subject. Now, I don't tell that when I move from one chapter to another chapter, I'm forgetting. No, I don't do that. Now, when I read a question, I understand why that question is being asked. If you can put that basement well, it'll work. Now I like what Madhavi mentioned. She said it took 20 days. If anyone listen for the first time in this video, they'll say that, man, maybe she's very poor in reading. That's why she took 20 days. But actually, she put the basement for next 20 years. Madhavi, are you getting goosebump? What the hell is she talking about me?
No, Shri, what you're saying is right.
Thanks. I think she written the script, gave to me. Thanks, Madhavi. I like the script. Whatever you asked me to say, I'm saying. Okay. No, point here is when you put that as an investment for a long time, okay, don't feel shy that you're spending time. It's worth the spending time. Yeah. Even if your exam get delayed 1 week, 2 week, you have to pay $70 extra. I won't give the money, but still you have to, you have to pay that money of extra when you want to extend the date. Worth it. Put that investment, make it happen. Now coming back here quickly, this point. How many of you feel that in your project, in your company, some or other way, these circles are related if you are working in projects? Assumptions, dependencies, constraints. Do you think some connection there?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, request to you, can you read the books keeping these items in mind? How communication management will help for these items? How schedule management will help for these items? How scope management will help for these items? Can you do that? Start going forward.
Sure.
Yeah. This is for the people who feel a bit tired while reading. For people who say that a question I'm not understanding, try this dimension. Chances are it will work. I'm not telling you you will become Chanakya the next tomorrow. Come on, great thinker. No, it won't work like that. It takes time. Our human brain takes time. It takes 60 or 65 days for a brain to process and get to the rhythm. 65 days? Exam date, it's only 50 days I have, man. The human brain, they did a lot of research. 21 days is one study. And some other study says 60, 65 days. They did some plastic surgery for some people. And then they found, even after plastic surgery, they could not see a change in their face. It took 65 days for them to understand in their face there was a surgery and the face has been changed. The brain really accepted. This is a proven study. If you go and read a psychology books, you'll understand. It takes that much of time in the brain. Many people, after practicing 10 or 15 days, they feel, oh, this doesn't work for me. Let me leave it. It takes time. It takes time. Okay. All right. Let's put something here. Okay. I want to give 5-10 minutes time to these team members here. Let's do a small breakout. Some of you have done it before, just a repetition of it. I want you to identify 2 things in this project. The project name is called PMP 2024. Okay. Let me see how your brain has observed assumptions and dependencies. Can someone quickly tell me what is assumption? Yeah, one line. What is assumption?
Likely to happen, may
Likely.
not,
Something
may,
perceived to
yeah,
be true.
maybe true or false.
Maybe true or false. Very good. Very good. Assumptions can be on the money, on the people, availability. Can I put everything as assumption?
Yes.
Yeah, very good. Very good. We assume certain things, life moves on. I assume that it will work. That's why you go for it. Now, dependency. Can someone tell me what could be dependency in a project?
Training.
Dependency between work actions inside the project. Dependency between training, people getting trained, then they work for it. Yeah, kind of like that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to break out the team into for few minutes. I want you to converse with the group of people. What is assumptions? What is dependency to get this PMP certificate? Shall we do that in a short cycle? Yeah.
Yep.
Good. All right. So what I do is I will quickly split into few team members here. Let's do an exercise of identifying assumptions and dependencies. Okay. All right. Then you're going to meet some new friends today. That's the purpose of doing this. Saying hello, right? Put some fair and lovely, comb your hair. Do everything, get ready. Let's do that. Okay. Let's see some of you in the cam if you are interested to come over. All right. Okay. So let's split into some set of team members and putting into at least 4 people per group so you can have some conversation. Let's do it. And I'll give 6 to 7 minutes of time so that you have time to say hello at least to the people. Then you can come back. All right, let's connect in a few minutes. Once you come back, I'll also jump to your room. You also have a share screen option in case you want to share and type something and converse about it. Okay, catch you in a few minutes. People in the YouTube probably will get a bit dark screen here now as it's getting a screen shared with the people. They're doing a breakout. Avinash, Mustafa, you all got the invite. Let me see if anyone in the YouTube needs the help. Where is it? All right, people should coming up in a few seconds. Did anyone had a... Okay, I have Jatin coming up here. Let's give a few seconds. People are coming back. Jatin, look like you put a Excel sheet already. Start working on it.
Yeah.
It's becoming a format, right? I think you did same for risk management on the project when you in the class.
Yeah, so like I was working with Ananya, Hema, and Milind. So we were like, and yesterday I was discussing with Ananya how much chapters I covered. So I was putting a plan.
I think you used with this now. Huh? You put Excel sheet, a Gantt chart, everything.
Excel sheet is like my bread and butter on a daily job, right? So
Every day.
every day is
It's becoming a life, right? Every day you open the Excel sheet, team putting
open
all
it.
the calculation.
I have Excel opened on my office laptop entire time. Like I need to do a lot of calculations. So
Okay.
and this is
Like
Excel.
24/7.
Yeah, 24/7 Excel is open. One Excel workbook is always open.
Nice. Good. All right. First, thanks a lot for putting the effort. Was it a good conversation with the people around you?
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
You met some new
Yes.
people or the same whom you know already?
All are new.
All are new people.
Yeah.
You, same guy? That feel is not there, right?
No.
Sometimes you meet the same people at shopping mall, then you go to movie hall, same guy, she always coming. Maybe that's your spouse. No other go. What to do? That's a life is, right? Okay, let's get back here. First, thanks a lot for the participation. And even though this is not going to decide your project, but I thought this kind of conversation will help you to get a different perspective. Now, I saw some rooms, they put Excel sheets, some preparation happening. Some are a good conversation. Would be interested to listen if any particular room want to talk or share what kind of assumptions or dependency you conversed.
Shri, is it okay to present the Excel?
Please go ahead.
In the room, we had Nilesh, Shobit, and Gayatri along with me.
Okay.
And this is what we figured out in the given time. Clearing mocks will help us without reading the book, just clearing the mocks. That's an assumption we have. Then we think that we are going to follow the schedule, but we might not be able to follow the schedule because of external factors or internally whatever problems. And as you rightly pointed out, and also Madhvi was telling, gather all the books and not read anything, or gather all the books and don't know what to do. Okay. And we also think that our previous experience helps us clear the PMP because we have handled many projects over so many years. That is assumption, and not understanding the concept and inability to connect to the right scenario. We might read the book A to Z, from the first page to the last page, including the glossary and all, but not able to connect to the right scenario is also one of the assumptions, what we figured out. And I would request Gayatri and also Nilesh and Shobit to add if there is anything.
Oh, one of the assumptions, I like the assumptions, what you written down there. Following the schedule is an assumption. Look at that.
We might think we are following, but we might not be following the schedule what we have put. No, you showed that,
God sake, you guys are brutally honest, yeah? I like that. More books for clearing the exam. Some people have the belief when you download everything, you will somehow clear the exam. It's something like in school days, we used to have this a peacock feather. I see some friends in my room, they have a peacock feather in the book, think the peacock is growing. Man, it's a feather. It won't grow. That's a childhood thought process. I like that. That's a good one. Thanks, Suma. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. Dependencies.
Dependencies, clearing the marks will help us clear again. It's the same. We think we are dependent on marks. Okay. And the time challenge. We are dependent on the time because if there is any challenge at the workplace, okay. So we are also dependent on that. And the physical health. With COVID increasing, we never know. That's again, it might be a dependency or an assumption too. And status of preparation, and confidence. The most important thing, I think this had to come the first, confidence, our own self-confidence. Dependent on that. That's an intangible one, but we are dependent on that.
Got you. Got you. Good point. When you say health, I will mark a physical plus mental health. This exam adds not only physical health thing, you have to mind also you feel little stressful, not little more than little stressful, because we commit that we are going to clear the exam. And what happens is sometimes your family looks out to you. You don't want to fail in front of your family. And sometimes your corporate says that in the first quarter, we want to see you in certificate. On top of that, at the age of 30 and 40, you don't want to fail in front of your life partner or people, right? At least you get a cup of coffee. After fail, that also you won't get it.
One more point is if you have children who are grown-ups,
Yeah.
they are like pokers for you.
Different story.
Yeah.
You can't advise them at all in future.
Now you go and clear your exam again, you don't talk about it. So that's another dependency or an assumption. So anyway, thank you. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Suma. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate that. All right, good. That is a more interesting and funny one there. Anyone else have a different thoughts apart from this, what we discussed?
From room 3 also we have discussed on the same thing, like but practicing of mock exams and meeting the score as per the mentioned, like so that is the dependency. If you are ready for the exam is one. I was just telling about dependencies first, and existing job supporting the preparation.
Yeah.
And next managing family and health is other dependency.
Yeah.
And next, motivation.
Got you. How about the dependency of exam application getting approved?
Ananya.
Yeah, there is a
Yeah, we have put that actually.
Okay, go ahead.
So we have given that assumption application of approval. So without it, we have also considered that it will not be audited. It will go on smoothly. And we have assumed that study will be completed within the study plan, whatever we have fixed after fixing the date. Then we have also assumed that the center will be available on that specific date for center-based exam. And like as you rightly said, that it is not mugging up the book. Your concept needs to be very clear. So that also we are assuming that once we read the book, our concepts will be cleared, and after that there will be a confidence on clearing the exam, because we'll be giving mocks also. So after giving mocks, if we get a certain score, we'll be confident of clearing the final exam. And we also need some amount of time, so that before the exam we should take some day off from our job, so that we can prepare aptly for the exam. And availability of all the training materials are also assumption for us. Like we are thinking that everything will be available for us, though it is available, but still we are considering it as an assumption actually. And for the dependencies, we have considered the same thing, like the availability of study materials, the mock question papers, that we are considering as a resources actually. And then availability of the funds for giving the PMP exam fee, that we are considering as a budget. So and then we are also considering a family support, the family should be supportive enough to help us clear the exam, both physical support and mental support. And then physical health, what you rightly said. So if we are discipline, following a proper discipline, so we'll have the physical and mental health as well. And we also need to clear the mock before, and we should get a go ahead from you before we start appearing for the final exam.
Good to know. Nice to know. Daily consistent habit. Nice to know. Good to see that. That's I think it's much needed. Thanks, Ananya, first for sharing those info. I appreciate it. It looks really good.
Thank you.
I have heard some people say that when I go through this PMP program, it also helped them to realize their regular habits getting streamlined. Some people also say that I started doing some walking and exercise, some fitness, because I cannot sit in the same place and read 4 hours. For now, if you watch, you are already with me 2 hours, 15 minutes. It's not healthy to sit and read in the same place for 4 hours. You get exhausted. You have to go for a walk, or do something, read something, exercise. That's a good thing. Super. I really like the people who shared here. Any other information somebody want to share before I go back to the slide again? Couple of slides.
We had from the room 1, but the extra points we had is like we have for assumption availability of us and whether it is center based or home based. Sometimes we have planned for home based, but we face a technical issue. Then there is a true or false. And for
So
dependency,
assumption can go false in that case, right?
Yeah.
So when assumption goes false, what will happen in the project? Will it delay the project or it'll stop the project? What will happen?
It will delay the
project. But if you move to different city, you want to do the same date, still you can do that. Is it possible?
Home basement is possible.
No, center base you're trying. Assumption, you thought a center base will be available, but the center is not available. Now, will you delay the project or will you complete the project on the same date, but you will go to different city and write the exam? Just a thought.
It will delay because getting an appointment in different city, it is not possible. It may a risk. It might be yes or no, true or false.
Exactly. Now, one person says that, no, I'm ready. I will travel to Bangalore to write the exam. I'll travel to Mumbai. I'll go to Las Vegas. I'll write the exam.
Yes.
Now, when he or she does it, now the cost will go high.
Cost will go high, and flight ticket we need to get the flight ticket. If risk will also go high.
Risk will go high, and you have to communicate more stakeholders.
Yes.
Who is that stakeholder? In your family, you have to tell, I'm going for Bangalore, for example.
And the office leave and everything. Office budget, everything will be.
Look at the way family look at you. Bangalore exam. Oh, I should trust you. Huh? So you have to improve your communication management.
Yeah.
So many parameters.
Yes, and dependency, we have mentioned eligibility.
Eligibility, very good.
And budget and limitness of preparation process. Stick on to the preparation process. And like you said, health, mental health and physical health. And stick on to the less source, not as a broad.
Not less source, correct source.
Yeah, right, less source.
Right sources. Yeah. I like the way everyone is marking health as important parameter. I really appreciate that. I can see that good habits happening. I'm sure you already know that, but at least you're marking it because, as I say every time, your spare parts are not available. Okay. Any place if you go, they say the spare parts not available. So yours is a Ferrari engine or whatever engine, maintain it. You may have the certificate, but if you don't maintain properly, all get into trouble. So please do some exercise, important. Super good. Thanks, Akila, and thanks everyone for doing this job. I know I'm top of the time. I'll touch a few more points to go there. Okay. Kindly confirm you're able to see the screen what I'm sharing now.
Yes.
Okay. Why I put this project is just to assume certain things. This will also help you while reading or solving the questions, or take a different projects which you know, which you use in your corporate. Okay, so what to expect in PMP certification? People who are very new here, you should know that PMP certification, you expect 3 things primarily. One, we talk about the people. When I say people, mostly on human parameter of conflict, leading the team, collaboration, mentoring. This looks very easy while reading, but while solving, it creates a trouble. Do anyone agree with this for the people domain? While reading is very happy, easy. While solving, it's super tough. Why it is super tough? Because we have not seen all these scenarios in our life. A conflict would have happened, but we would have made a fight, or we made a moved out of the room. But the exam question is not expecting you to have a fight, not expecting you to move out of the room. The question is asking whether will you solve it? Will you use your critical thinking? So with these questions, all the subjects will be very nice to read, happy to read. Maslow theory or Herbert's theory, theory X, theory Y. You talk about different model. It'll be so loving to read. You feel like, wow. But when you solve the questions, you need time. So this goes by purely your mindset. And this is the most easy thing for many people if you have worked in many companies systematically already approached. So you will easily learn and do it. If you are new, it's pretty easy for you because you are learning from the scratch. Words will be new for you, but definitely you can easily understand this. It all goes in step by step. You have to plan it, you have to do it, change management, you have to order it systematically. Everything goes in a systematic way. Once upon a time, PMI used to drill all the questions from here. Now they've introduced more into people area. This is the very smallest area which goes by environment, talks about program, portfolio. It talks about the benefit of the project. It talks about environment of the project. Those areas it will cover. Do anyone know how many percentage of questions comes here?
Yeah, people 42%.
42% of questions comes here.
Process 50%.
50% of exam question comes here.
Environment 8%.
8%. You know which year they declared this?
No.
From 2021, January 1, no, January 2. Jan 2, this exam started. 2020 or 2021? Oh, I believe 2021. So now, how many years of cross in that case?
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years of cross. So every 4 years, they keep updating the paper. When I say updating the paper, they will upgrade the content. Now, when they prepare this model, they said that 50% will be on predictive plus hybrid. 50% will be on adaptive. When I say adaptive, can I call it as agile?
Yes.
Agile. Don't think the moment 50% they'll ask only Scrum management related questions. No. Adaptive is a broad terminology. Under adaptive, I can have a hybrid. Is it possible?
Yes.
Possible?
Yes.
Predictive, I can have a hybrid. Is it possible?
Yes.
When you go to exam hall, you will get adaptive, you get predictive, you get a hybrid also. Many people come out of the exam hall and say that, Shri, I have all are adaptive, all are agile. Actually, no. The moment you see some hybrid, your brain will think that's also agile. Possible, right? Your brain will think, the moment you see a hybrid, will see, oh, that's also agile. So PMI is always asking only agile. No, PMI didn't say that. They say 50-50%. Some hybrid here, some hybrid here. So when I say hybrid can lean towards predictive model. Hybrid can lean towards adaptive model. It can go either side, right? Either side. But more focus will be on agile area. That's very evident. In exam, you can expect 50% of the questions coming from agile, which is on adaptive nature. In international terminology, more than the word agile, they use the word adaptive. You can adapt as per the situation. That's how it opens. In exam, you can expect these is the area. If you're clever, you know which area to choose. A few minutes back or 30 minutes back, I explained. If you are a people person, you know much about it, you will do less effort here. You do more effort on process. So you decide where you want to put your effort. Yeah, that's the point. So how an exam will look like? Exam, for quick understanding, this will be your last information slide. Your exam will have 180 questions. Here you're going to have all our objective type questions. Questions going to have a match the following, fill in the blanks, hotspot. Questions will have multi-choice or multiple response. However, out of 180, you can expect nearly 170 or 173 or 165 questions, multiple choice. What is multiple choice? A question will be given in a paragraph. Below this, you will have A, B, C, and D. In this, you have to choose either of one answer. There is something called multiple response. A question will be given. You will have A, B, C, D, E, F. Could be. They ask you to choose more than one answers. They'll give a checkbox to you. You have to choose either this and this answer. When you click next button, there is a next here. You click next button. If you don't check two boxes, it won't allow you to go further. You may be scared. What if I choose one answer and move forward? No. PMI system will be intelligence. It will stop you. Don't do that part. It will do that. If you want to understand more about the exam part, I will discuss in a different video, or we have other videos also. I want to just give a highlight. If you want to target for the 2024, you know what book to read. You know what is the do's and don'ts, which you saw in the video. Now you have to know what is the final goal you're going to do. This is 4 hours of time. 240 is 4 hours, is 230, which means 10 minutes lesser than 4 hours. In this, it's divided into 3 segments, 60, second sprint, third sprint. 3 segments are divided. Each segment, they're giving 10 minutes of break. This break is not included in 230 minutes. This is exclusive. Apart from 230, they're giving 10 minutes. 10 minutes. This is very optional break. If you want to say no, you can say no and you can continue the exam. But my high recommendation is don't ignore this break. It's pretty much important. Two ways is important. One is for physical, other one is for mental. When I say physical, when you stand up, when you walk, your blood circulation gets better. I have seen some people, they bend down, they make the circulation better because your blood has to flow well. If it doesn't flow well, it's bad. Some of you may be good. Even though you don't do that, your brain works better. But I would tell, take a break or go for a nature call, go to the washroom, wash your face and come back. You're a human being. You cannot be like that. And when you do that, your mental stress also goes away. You start planning what to do for the second slot. In this break, I recommend people to have something, eat something. Will you order a pizza, full biryani? Can you? In the break?
No.
Shri, leg
No.
piece is missing. Shri, what to do, man? Hey, exam is running, but get inside, yeah. No, in biryani, leg piece is not there. God, man. Don't do that. Exam hall, go with maybe a orange or something which adds glucose, or take a Snicker bar chocolates. Chocolates usually gives quicker energy. And that will add micro. Don't take too much of chocolates, but one chocolate is good for you. Have some orange with you. In the break, that is what time you will get. As I was pointing out, don't order pizza and wait for it, where the pizza guy is not coming in. So don't wait for it. Do the job. You went for a job, focus on the job. Okay, 10 minutes break only for that reason. So further information on the exam, I'll explain in different videos. But for now, this is for you. Any questions which I can help you now? Anyone new? You feel that, what is this exam? Okay, if not, I know I'm on top of the time. I've reached at least 20 minutes extra. Let me quickly cover up some stuff. One thing I read, I don't know when I read it, 2 days back or somewhere, I read in the paper. I like this, winner's mindset. Okay, just want to pause this. When you give or do, I like this one, do more than what we get paid for, we will eliminate our competition. By any chance, have anyone really felt it in your life? Have anyone realized this is true? When you give or do more than what you paid for, we eliminate the competition. Have anyone realized it?
Yeah, all startups are doing the same thing. And yeah.
Okay. Does it mean that you have to work 24 hours?
Not
Not
No.
really.
Not. It's a value addition work. Even if you are there for 30 minutes, your work of 30 minutes should be super clean and smart. Next time, somebody should not tell that there is a mistake, fix it. No. They should know that this guy was there 30 minutes, can do a wonderful job. When we give or do more than what we paid for, more doesn't mean number of hours. I want to correct that point. More is not number of hours, value addition. When you do with the amazing commitment, now what will happen is if you do that, you know what will happen? You eliminate the competition. In fact, we become the competition. People got scared of you. Man, this guy does a good job. And I really like this line when I read it. It's not about the competition. You become the competition. Sometimes the role model will become your competitor. Have you been like that? Your role model becomes your competitor. You start working with them and they enjoy that. They see somebody working with who thought you was a role model, now is competing with you. It's a good job, right? You could see some football players, boxers. That's how it come in. Now I like this line, and the line ends like this. This attitude, what you read here, is much important than your intelligence and a degree. Shri, after explaining all the certificate, finally you're telling it's not needed. No. What I mean here is you have to have that energy to put the effort, and then if you do, you eliminate the competition. This is beyond your intelligence. It's beyond your degree. Because I got a degree, I'll do a great job. No, it's a failure. You have to be a person adding more value, not more time, more value. I read it 2 days back, I believe, in a book. I felt a so interesting line, thought of sharing with you. See if you can utilize it in your certification or your job or with your family. I'm sure you will have a happy life. With this, I'll come to the end of the program. So the whole purpose of this program is to start the year 2024 with a grand bang of winning big in your life. Keep something for the first quarter of 2024. So what we did is today we spoke something about how to plan, do's and don'ts. If some of you who already learned classes with us, who some of you new to the classes who want to go for it, I would say come for the 7th Jan. How far 7th Jan? 1 year we have to wait? Next year?
7 days more.
Yeah, next year.
Next year, my God, next year. Looks nice dialogue, right? So next year, let's meet. Okay. This looks crazy, right? Okay. So now, next year, what we'll do is we'll meet for this program. I have people who did class with us. One thing we do in ShriLearning is once you join one batch, you can be in a couple of more batches or more than that until you get fed up with this guy. Pah! Until then, you can come. Okay. So you can come for the classes, listen to batches. If you're new, please join this program to listen this what is happening in management. There are many or broad subject area which we have to discuss in the classes. Today, what I did here is I spoke about what are the do's and don'ts. Primarily talk about have a date, have a plan, be systematic with the clear ideas. And very important point, one thing I said in do's. Do anyone remember one important point I said in do's, which is very important for a career growth also? One important point in do's starts with C.
Yeah,
I see.
5 C's.
Critical thinking.
Wow, you got it. You got it, man. You're going to get dinner at your home. Your family is going to give you. That's a gift for you.
Thank you.
Coming back here, critical thinking is pretty important. If at all you want to become a manager, good person in a corporate, your life has to grow. Certification helps you, but certification will not only do all the job. You have to improve your critical thinking, observe the information, understand the data, infer through different thought process, put things together, come to a conclusion point. If you want to do this, you have to guard your door. The guard your door is you have to protect the distractions. There are thousands of people waiting to distract you. There are thousands of things waiting to steal your time. I have spoken about stealing time. People are just there. Come on, let me take your time. So if you cannot guard that properly, if you cannot stand guard in front of your door, your critical thinking door will not open. That will be shut all over the life. If you can guard this, your brain starts working over. So if you can do that, 2024 will be an amazing year. We all will be successful and pretty healthy. So thanks all for joining here. It was a wonderful time. 2.5 hours, we're in the same place. Amazing. You have amazing energy. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shri, and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year to all.
Great. Happy New Year wishes.
Happy New Year.
Party well. Party well. Enjoy well. Have a lot of liquid food. Go home safely.
Thank you. Bye,
Liquid
Shri.
food.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.
All right, guys.
Thank
See you
you.
all.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank you.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Shri, bye. Thank you, Shri.
Happy
Bye.
New Year to
Happy New
all.
Year to all.
Happy New Year to all. Thank you.